Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Kansas City is known as the city of fountains, but they also have a reputation for ribs. Oh, those look very good. They're going to have to wait till later, though, because tonight the YES Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It'll be the Yankees against the Kansas City Royals from beautiful Kauffman Stadium here in Kansas City, Missouri. Hi, everybody. Ken Singleton along with David Cohn tonight. We have the first of the three-game series between the Yankees and the Kansas City Royals. Now, Sunday was Derek Jeter Day at Yankee Stadium. The Yankees split a doubleheader with the Astros, winning the first game and losing the second. But now they're back on the road against Kansas City. Well, quickly, let's check out the pitching matchup for tonight, brought to you by People's United Bank NA. And for the Royals, it's going to be Jason Hamill with the start. 1-4, 5.97 ERA. He has struggled of late. CC Sabathia, 2-2 for the Yankees, 5.77. And CC's trying to turn it around as well, David.
Yeah, after a solid start, struggling with location as of yet. And really, that is the story with a finesse pitcher. Look at the target. Sanchez down and away. It ends up and out over the plate, right in the wheelhouse again to a right-handed batter, trying to get that sinker down, and it just cuts over the middle of the plate. Sabathia, location so important nowadays. That cut fastball is staying out. He needs to get that off the plate in, miss in, and normally dominant against left-handed hitters. He leaves it out over the plate, and that's something Sabathia rarely does. I expect him to turn it around, Kenny. He's been too good for so long. He just needs to find that location and hit that glove.
Well, let's take a look at the numbers. CC got off to a great start this year. His first three starts, he went 2-0. Excellent earned run average 1.47, and the batting average against just 182. But the last four starts, 0-2, ERA up there at 9.58, and the batters are turning him around at a 3.37 clip. Well, we've talked a lot about pitching. Let's talk about some hitting. And the Yankees have been swinging the bats well all season long. In particular, it's been Brett Gardner and Starlin Castro lately.
Yes, it's Castro all year long, but how about Brett Gardner as of late? He's turned it on. Got some thump in that bat, starting to drive the ball out of the ballpark at Yankee Stadium, not taking as many pitches, much more aggressive in nature, and it's paying off for Brett Gardner. We saw him early in the year probably letting too many good pitches go by. Not anymore. He's become a run producer at the top of the lineup, and if you come in there, watch out. He's going to turn on it, and doubles and homers at Yankee Stadium is a good formula for Brett Gardner. And of course, Starlin Castro all year long. Approach, approach, approach. Yankee Stadium, let's hit the ball away and take it away. There's a lot of home runs over that short porch. I think he's figured it out in his second year as a Yankee, and knowing also as well, there's doubles down the line. So Castro hitting the ball where it's pitched. We're rarely seeing him pull off the ball. It's really paying off for him.
Let's take a look at the numbers. Recent hot streaks. Brett Gardner, of course, last 14 games, hitting .404 with 7 home runs and 14 runs batted in. Also has scored 16 runs. 7 home runs. That's as many as he hit all last year. Starlin Castro, last 16 games, .338. This guy's been hitting all season long. 7 extra base hits, 12 RBIs, and 16 runs scored. Well, the Yankee starters have taken somewhat of a hit of late. When we come back, it's going to be Meredith Marakovitz and David breaking down what's going on with the Yankee starters. Can they get back on track? Like to see that start tonight with CC Sabathia. That's all coming up right here on YES.
David, it's time for tonight's Cold Hard Facts, brought to you by Clean, Crisp, Coors Light. And as you can see, the Yankees starting pitching statistics really took a hit over the last week. They did not perform well the last couple of days at Yankee Stadium. And David, are there reasons to be concerned about this staff?
Well, I think you're always worried because you constantly have to prove yourself in this game, especially pitching at Yankee Stadium. Anything can happen. Big innings happen in a hurry. I think we've seen that with CC Sabathia, where for the most part, he kind of looks good, and then all of a sudden there's one bad inning. I remember at the end of my career that happened a lot, where all of a sudden it's 5 runs in 1 inning. So trying to avoid the big inning is a big deal right now in his career.
You mentioned Sabathia. He's had trouble getting in with that cutter. If he doesn't have that pitch, is he going to be able to survive on the mound?
Well, I think he can, although it is a very important pitch. You're exactly right, Meredith. But he can work around it with the slider. I still think his slider is his best pitch. I think it's underutilized still to this day. If I were him, I'd throw it more. He can backdoor it. He can throw it to both sides of the plate. He can bury that pitch down and into right-handed batters when his cutter isn't there. So I'd kind of like to see him on the days when his cutter isn't there to go to his slider a little more, but I still think he has the stuff to get by.
When you look at the staff as a whole, Tanaka didn't have a great outing. Severino didn't have a great outing last time through. How, as a starting staff, do you bounce back from that?
Well, you know, you try to understand what happened. You go through the video, and then you forget about it. I think amnesia is one of the best things you can have as a pitcher because you don't want that carryover effect into your next start. And sometimes, you know, you have a bad night. Sometimes your control's a little off. So for me, it's about rhythm. When Severino gets a little quick with his rhythm, and you can almost count it by almost like a dance step, by 1, 2, 3, 4. And when he's off a little bit with his rhythm, then his pitches tend to get up and a little flatter. So with Severino, it's always about dialing it back a little bit. I think with Sabathia, maybe dial it up a little bit. You know, it's kind of the old guy and the young guy, right? It's 2 different stories. One guy probably needs a little motivation, and one guy needs to calm down a little bit. But aside from the emotional part, I think it still comes down to just amnesia. Forget about the last start and worry about the next one.
Good news, bad news. The bullpen has been great, but also they're putting extra stress on that bullpen. Still early, and there's been some off days. Is that something that Joe Girardi should be concerned about at this point?
I think not as much in today's game because you have extra pitchers in the bullpen in today's game. You know, we have 8 guys down there in the bullpen, so there's plenty of arms to go around. And also, I think they've got it where they want it now. Gallegos had a great debut. I think he's a great addition down there. Adam Warren certainly has been solid all year long. I think Tyler Clippard has closed before, and Dellin Betances is one of the best in the game over the last 3 years. So I think they've got enough to make up for Chapman for now. It'll be nice to get him back, you know, at some point, but for now I think they have enough.
David, I know you have a lot to do. Kenny's sending me text messages asking where you are, so get up to the booth. Plenty more to come here when the Yes Network returns.
By Buick. Visit TriStateBuick.com for great lease offers. By ShopRite. We're all about food. We're all about savings. We're all about you. By Heineken, open your world. And by Infinity. Empower the drive. Visit your tri-state area Infinity retailer for a test drive today. Lineups, first pitch, baseball coming up next right here on Yes. Kansas City. Let's check out the Yankees starting lineup presented by Lexus. At the very top, the Red Heart, Brett Gardner, who leads off. Gary Sanchez, he's doing the catching and batting second. Third place hitter is the designated hitter, Matt Holliday. Cleaning up is Starlin Castro. He'll be at second base. Aaron Judge will be in right field. Jacoby Ellsbury will be in center. Chase Henley will be at third base. Didi Gregorius will playing shortstop tonight. And batting ninth at first base, it'll be Chris Carter.
Get a look at the tall right-hander for the Royals, Jason Hamill. And on the year, it's been a tough start. Those numbers tell a story. A lot of hits, 16 walks as well to go with 31 strikeouts. And let's go ahead and tell you why with our pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. And basically a fastball slider guy about 80 to 85% of the time. He does mix in a changeup and a curveball, but you can narrow that focus down as a hitter to just fastball slider. The slow start, we showed you those numbers. A bit of a disappointment for the Royals free agent signings so far, but he's coming off a solid 3-year stretch, including last year in the World Series Cubs. He's been well above league average, or certainly by a lot of metrics above league average over the last 3 years, and that's a valuable pitcher to have for your rotation.
Let's check out the Royals on defense presented by Geico. Let's go to the outfield. Alex Gordon will be in left. Lorenzo Cain in center. Jorge Bonifacio will be in right field. Moustakas at third. Escobar at short. Merrifield at second. And Hosmer at first. And Salvador Perez, Gold Glove catcher, behind the plate for Jason Hamill. Here's Brett Gardner. We told you he's been swinging a hot bat. He had 6 hits in Sunday's doubleheader against the Astros. 3 in each ball game. And he's raised his season average up to 289. The 7 home runs, they've all come in the last 14 games. And he's also 12 for his last 28. Can't be much hotter than that. Speaking of hot, about 85 degrees here in Kansas City this afternoon. Here's the first pitch of the ball game, and it is high for ball 1. David told you that Hamill has struggled. He's made 7 previous starts. The Royals have won just 1 of those games. His last start, he was hammered by the Tampa Bay Rays at Tropicana Field. Royals lost that game by a score of 12-1. Next pitch is hit in the air towards right center field. Lorenzo Cain, a lot of speed out in center field, runs that one down, and there's 1 out. So Gardner is retired. We mentioned the temperature in the mid-80s. Well, it's dropped a little bit. It's 81 degrees at the start of the ball game, and the wind is really blowing hard out of the south from right to left here at Kauffman Stadium as Gary Sanchez approaches the plate.
So Lorenzo Cain just gliding under that ball. At first, off the bat, you think, yeah, well, we're not at the Yankee Stadium, obviously, here at the K.
Made it look easy, didn't he? And he could run him down in center. Sanchez played the second game of the doubleheader Sunday, went 2 for 4. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it back to the screen for strike 1. Now, you were mentioning that Hamill had a good year with the Cubs last year. The Royals signed him as a free agent. Went 15-10 for the world champion Cubs last year.
Yeah, he really had to wait until February. He was kind of dangling out on the free agent market, and the Royals took a flyer in February.
Sanchez takes a breaking ball, and it's that slider David was talking about in there for a strike, and it's 0-2. Sanchez has had his moments. He's hit a few balls hard since coming off the disabled list. He's got his average up to 260. He was down in the 100s when he first came back. Next pitch is hit towards the gap in left center field. It is fading and falling in there for a base hit. It gets by Cain, but Gordon backs him up. Gordon has a strong arm, gets the ball back in, and Sanchez dumps a single into left center field, and the Yankees have their first hit of the ball game. Sounded like he hit it off the end of the bat.
He did on a slider, full swing. That's what fools Cain, as you could see. Great shot there off the end. And we talked about the dimensions of Kauffman Stadium here. Well, this is where it will give you one, as Cain tries to get there, thinks about diving, but just cannot reach it.
Designated hitter Matt Holliday steps in. He's on a season-high 6-game hitting streak. Sanchez with a short lead over at first. Up and in for ball 1. Season numbers average near the 280 mark, to 7 homers, 24 runs batted in. Yankees have 3 players in the lineup tonight with more than 24 or more runs batted in. Pitch is fouled back, and the count is a ball and a strike. Holliday's been a big part of a solid Yankee offense. The Yankee offense leads the American League in home runs and runs scored. Certainly a turnaround from last year's Yankee club that had trouble scoring runs. Slider in the dirt. Good stop by Salvador Perez, the catcher, who multi-Gold Glove winner, one of the best catchers in the game. 4 Gold Gloves for the Royals catcher. Tough to run on, has a very strong arm. Big part of the 2 World Series teams here in Kansas City in 2014 and 2015. That drops in there for a strike, and it's 2-2 on Matt Holliday. One thing I noticed about Perez, even though he's a big man, I mean, he's about 6'3", 6'4", he gives a very low target. Really can get down there and get the pitcher to focus down in the strike zone.
Very demonstrative. You can see him pointing to his head about Hamill on this pitch. Kind of from the Tony Pena school of catching.
2-2 pitch is on the way, and it's off the outside corner. The count is now full, 3-2. Mentioned Hamill's last start when he lost to the Rays 12-1. Gave up a career-high 13 hits in that game. But one reason they left him out there, because the night before the Royals had used 6 pitchers against the Rays, so they had to leave him in the ball game, and he had to just well, the Rays were all over him. 12 runs and 13 hits. Next pitch is popped in the air to right field. Bonifacio has a beat on it, and the Royals right fielder puts it away for out number 2.
Well, you bring up a good point there, Kenny. I mean, we saw that with Tanaka the other night at Yankee Stadium, where he couldn't get out of the first couple of innings. The Yankees could have used a little more length, but maybe the worst outing of his career.
Wow. I think that's the worst I've ever seen him pitch. I mean, right from the start, I mean, the first two hitters, Springer hit a homer, and then Reddick hit a homer, back-to-back home runs, and it went downhill from there. Here's Castro. Starting tonight, tied for the American League lead in hits with 49. Corey Dickerson and Kevin Pillar. Dickerson of the Rays and Pillar of the Blue Jays. Breaking ball. There's that slider, drops in for a call strike. Tremendous numbers. Good production from a middle infielder. 7 home runs, 25 runs batted in. And I think one thing he's done better this year, he hasn't chased as many balls out of the strike zone. Every once in a while he'll do it and fall into that bad habit. But he's been much more selective this year, laying off that slider down and away. There it is, but it hits the outside corner for a strike. 0-2.
Yeah, already 8 walks for Castro this year after just 24 all of last year and 577 at-bats.
Look out, up and in with the fastball, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. That's some old-time baseball right there. 0-2 pitch.
Well, Perez wants it up.
That used to be the norm, David. 0-2, hitters would expect pitch up and in, or at least jackknife you off the plate.
Chin music.
Yeah, that's what they called it. Castro hits this one in the air to center field for Kane. Comes in a few steps, makes the catch. 3 fly ball outs for the Yankees. They pick up a hit, but no runs. On to the bottom of the first here in Kansas City. Royals starting lineup. Alcides Escobar will lead it off at short. Mike Moustakas will be at third base. Lorenzo Cain will be in center field. Cleaning up is the first baseman, Eric Hosmer. Salvador Perez is doing the catching. Jorge Bonifacio will be in right field. Jorge Soler will be the designated hitter. Alex Gordon's in left, and Whit Merrifield will bat ninth and play second base.
CC Sabathia ready to go here in Kansas City at Kauffman Stadium, and we noted in the pregame show with Meredith Marakovitz a tale of 2 seasons so far for Sabathia, looking to get back on track. 17 walks and 27 strikeouts in those 39 innings. And let's check out the pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers, and get out of the gate. 17 out of the 25 earned runs that Sabathia has given up this year have been in the first 2 innings, and that's just a matter of getting in a pitching mode earlier, getting all your pitches working, and figuring out how to start a game off in this new finesse style that he has. And if he does that, that will get him back on track tonight. And then, of course, with Sabathia on the career, the K watch, where does he stand on the all-time list? Well, he's 20 away from passing Frank Tanana for 21st on the all-time list. So Sabathia is sitting at 2,753 strikeouts on his career.
Well, here's Sabathia's first pitch to Escobar, and he swings at it. Line drive right at Headland. He hauls it in. 1 pitch and 1 out, just like that. Wow.
Well, he's awake now. Talk about a caffeine buzz. I mean, wow, that's just, hello, first pitch.
Wow, you saw the eyes open up as that ball was approaching. So Escobar hits it on the nose and has nothing to show for it as he is out number 1. So 1 down, and here's Mike Moustakas. The left-handed hitter takes a pitch in there for a called strike. Moustakas has a 4-game hitting streak. And he's leading the Royals in homers with 9. Breaking ball drops in there for a strike, and it's 0-2. Royals have a number of #1 draft picks in the lineup, and Moustakas is one of them. Back in 2007, he was picked 2nd overall. Line drive towards right center field. On the run is Judge. He closes the gap, and there's out number 2. Quickly, let's check out the Yankees on defense. You saw the third baseman. You saw the right fielder. Let's go around the diamond here. Gardner in left, Ellsbury in center, Judge in right. Headley, Gregorius, Castro, and Carter round out the infield. And Gary Sanchez doing the catching for CC Sabathia. So there is the Royals mascot, Slugger, taking a few pictures with some of the fans. And here is Lorenzo Cain. He's one of the Royals that's been hitting the ball very well. He takes a pitch for a call strike. He's got a 6-game hitting streak, 11 for his last 24. The Royals got off to a very poor start this year as far as swinging the bats. They've been hitting the ball better this month of May than they did in April. There's a swing and a foul tip into the glove, and it's 0-2.
The Royals always uber aggressive. They swing the bat in the strike zone, out of the strike zone, at the top of the list.
Fouled off. They don't strike out very often because they're putting the ball in play. As David said, there's Ned Yost, the winningest manager in Kansas City history. Of course, the manager of the 2015 world champion Kansas City Royals. They beat the Mets in 5 games. 0-2 pitch, hit in the air towards center field. On the run is Ellsbury. He's got it, and that'll do it. 1, 2, 3, 8 pitches for CC Sabathia. Maybe he's getting out of the gate tonight here in Kansas City.
If you put the Yankee hat on,
what do you think?
You kind of look like a.
Yeah?
Oh, that's crazy.
Great to meet you. I'm Aaron Judge, by the way. Yeah.
Oh my God! And that was Aaron Judge on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon as we see him stepping into the batter's box. Guys, he said he was really nervous doing that. He was freaking out a little bit doing what reporters typically do on a daily basis. He also said that he talked to about 15 to 20 people. 10 to 20 recognized him. The others did not. And he was a little nervous how it all was going to come out. But in typical Aaron Judge fashion, he credited someone else, saying it was the editors. They did a really nice job putting that together.
Well, Meredith, I will tell you, that was a very funny spot. I mean, the guy's eyes tell the first guy there told everything that, well, this is him. And this is Judge at the plate right now. Ground ball toward short. Escobar from the grass. Long throw is in time to get Judge out. One down. That was a funny spot. I would imagine, you know, more and more people are going to know who this young man is.
I would think so. Not to mention, I mean, he's hitting the ball out of the ballpark at an unbelievable rate, but he's 6'7". He's a big guy. It's hard not to notice him. So they had him sitting down on the set, and we asked him, how did this all come about? And he said, Jimmy Fallon's people reached out to the Yankees. I heard about it. I thought it would be cool to do, so I decided to do it. So pretty neat thing for him. You could tell he was really excited about it. He had a smile from ear to ear when he was talking about it in the clubhouse.
If I recall, they did a similar spot with Robinson Cano a few years back.
They did. They've done one with Matt Harvey in the past as well. Jimmy Fallon, a big baseball fan, at a lot of Yankees games.
Fly ball to the right field for Bonifacio, and it's quickly 2 up and 2 down. By the way, in the first inning, Hamill threw 15 pitches, 10 of them were strikes. And David, he's almost the exact opposite of CeCe Sabathia. He just goes smoothly through the first 3 innings, but after the first 3 innings, the second time through, hitters are hitting .363 against him. So maybe it's that 2-pitch mix. He has to come up with something else.
Yeah, I agree, and it's a good point, Kenny. The second and third time through the order, you can kind of zone in on a 2-pitch mix.
Here's Chase Headley, had a big triple in the game, the lone game that the Yankees won against the Astros over the weekend. First pitch from Hamill is in there for a called strike. Next pitch, check swing. Was it in the dirt? It's a ball, 1-1. I think one thing I noticed and took away from the weekend, the 3 games that the Astros won, Brian McCann was catching those games. The one game that they lost, Evan Gattis caught. So I wonder, it seemed like McCann was calling the right pitches at the right time, had the scouting report on his own guys from the last 3 years.
Well, it was a good situation for Brian McCann, and Brian Cashman, the Yankees GM, really had no choice. You've got Gary Sanchez ready to go, and by trading McCann to Houston, it almost did him a favor. It's a perfect spot for him to go.
Fouled off. The count will move to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Though I will say this, one of the young arms, they got a couple of good young arms from Houston back in that trade. Albert Abreu has got dynamite stuff and low A ball. And can throw it in the upper 90s with a real true curveball. So something to look for in the future for the Yankees.
High and away, and the count is run full on Chase Headley. Headley leads the Yankees with 9 2-base hits. Got off to a great start this year. Didi Gregorius is on deck, but lately just 2 for his last 26. They're trying to find that early season magic again. Let's see what happens on this payoff pitch. It's on the way, and it's fouled off. We'll do it all over again. We should mention that Lance Barrett is calling balls and strikes tonight. Stu Sherwater is at first base. Veteran crew chief Joe West at second, and Jim Reynolds making the calls around at third. That's our umpiring crew here in Kansas City. Once again, the 3-2 pitch, and it's hit on the ground towards the middle. It's into center field for a base hit. Well, Headley might have been 2 for his last 26, but he is 1 for his last 1. And that could be the start of something big. So he's on with a 2-out single here in the second inning. Now, one thing to remember about Headley, he's 4-0 in stolen bases. Now, you might not put him in the category with Ellsbury and Gardner, certainly not, but he seems to pick his spots well. Here's Gregorius, since coming off the disabled list, hitting .297. A home run and 10 runs batted in. Headley's on the move. There he goes. The pitch is in there for a strike. To throw to second. Headley is now 5-0 in stolen bases this year, and Perez is not an easy catcher to steal on. Catchers have a tendency to take those stolen bases personally. He went on a good pitch. It was a curveball or a slider.
Watch the jump. Hamill almost not paying attention. As you said, Ken, Headley just seems to pick his spots. An underrated base runner.
Well, now he's in scoring position. And the 0-1 pitch is fouled off, and Gregorius in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. Now that Gregorius is in the no balls and 2 strikes hole, Lorenzo Cain in center field moves a few steps towards left center, thinking that Gregorius is less apt to pull the ball. The big gap now is in right center field. The 0-2 pitch. Oh, good swing, and he fouled it back. As a hitter, when you do that, that's a pitch that you want to have back sometime during the game.
Boy, the old 0-2 hanging slider, it almost stays up too much. As you see, Gregorius is on it, but just under it.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been a single if he hit it. 0-2 pitch, broken bat, little looper towards Merrifield. He fields it on a hop, throws the first, just in time to get Gregorius, and the Yankees will leave a runner in scoring position at the end of 1.5. Still no score here in Kansas City. New York Prius Prime is the official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. Are you surprised at where the Blue Jays, Royals, and Mets are in the standings now? And let's see, it's at Jeff Jocelyn 1. I'm not surprised by where the Mets and Blue Jays are. Any team that suffers a lot of injuries will have a lot of trouble staying afloat. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Prius Prime to keep the conversation going. CC Sabathia facing Eric Hosmer here in the bottom of the 2nd inning, and he swings at the first pitch, and Gregorius will throw out Hosmer. 1 pitch, 1 out. CC, by the way, has thrown 9 pitches in the game. All 9 have been strikes.
Let's go ahead and bring you the Royals team scouting report, brought to you by Jeep, and they are starting to heat up. They just swept the Orioles. They've won 6 out of 7, starting to swing the bats after a slow start, but that slow start has put them behind the 8 ball. And also coming up against the deadline, which we'll touch on later, and Meredith has touched on in the pregame show, they got a decision time coming with a lot of potential free agents, very popular players at the corners. Hosmer, Moose playing third base, Moustakas.
Cain in center field, I believe.
Cain in center field. So they are coming up on decision time, approaching the deadline, coming in the middle part of the year.
These were players that are all a big part of their 2 World Series back-to-back years. The pitches inside to Salvador Perez. And the count is 2-0. And here's the list of the notable potential free agents. Hosmer, Cain, Moustakas, and Alcides Escobar. All these guys are World Series champions a couple of years ago. Sabathia, 2-1 count. You know what? All of these guys are valuable to the team. I mean, Hosmer, #1 pick. Moustakas, the #1 pick. They got Escobar in the trade. Pitch is just off the corner to Perez, and the count is going to 3-1 on the Royals catcher. Perez is off to a good start. 7 home runs, 21 runs batted in, hitting .283. He's been pulling the ball a lot more lately. He's got a 9-game hitting streak going. Ground ball pulled foul, and the count is now run full at 3-2.
You know, our longtime statistician here at Royals, here at the Cade, John Doolittle, points out that the Nationals are a good match with the Royals, and talking about those potential free agents, closer and a center fielder, maybe Lorenzo Cain and Kelvin Herrera, their closer.
The payoff pitch is lined, and Didi Gregorius hauls it in. So a couple of hard hit balls by the Royals tonight have gone for naught as Didi lays out and makes the catch.
If you're on the left side of the infield when Sabathia pitches, similar to when Andy Pettitte used to pitch, you're going to get action. And you know that.
Oh, yeah.
As Headley and Gregorius are ready to play tonight.
2 outs, and here's the right fielder Jorge Bonifacio, and he swings at the first pitch. He goes the other way and picks up a hit. The first hit of the night for the Kansas City Royals, a 2-out single by Jorge Bonifacio. His brother Emilio actually played for the Royals a couple of years ago. He's now playing for the Marlins. So the Bonifacio brothers make that the Braves. I think he's also played for the Marlins as well. He's played for another teams. Here's Jorge Soler, who the Royals got in a trade from the Chicago Cubs for Wade Davis, who is now closing for the Cubs and doing a good job, although he's not getting as many opportunities. Cubby's been struggling. Soler spent the early part of the season on the disabled list. He had a strained oblique, and he came back recently. Started 0 for 15, but his first hit was a 464-foot home run. That pitch is outside for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. And on his rehab assignment in Omaha, David, he hit 3 home runs. So they knew he should be back in the big league soon. A lot of potential here in this player.
Yeah, the connection to the Yankees obviously is that the Cubs allowed Chapman to sign back with the Yankees as a free agent, but made the trade with the Royals for Wade Davis.
CC drops that one into for a strike, and the count moves to 2-1. Chapman came on the road trip despite being on the disabled list. He's getting treatment. Inflamed rotator cuff. Now, he said he had that a few years ago and was back. He's not, doesn't seem to be worried about it. It's just going to take a little time before he's back. 3-1 now on the count to Soler.
Well, Chapman's going to have to learn how to speak up, because he now admits that his arm's been bothering him for a while, and the Yankees had no clue. Or if they did have a clue, he denied it. So you're going to have to in today's game speak up a little sooner and be honest with your training staff.
The 3-1 pitch swung on and missed on a changeup, and the count has gone full 3-2. That'll set Bonifacio off with 2 outs at first base. You're right, David. In this day and age, with the treatment they have, I mean, they could nip it in the bud. It wouldn't gotten any worse. But instead, he's on the DL for a while now.
In the first year of a long-term contract.
3-2 pitch, runner goes, and it's in there for a call. Strike 3. Soler is caught looking. Sabathia picks up his first strikeout of the night, leaves the runner on. We're going to the 3rd inning. No score in Kansas City.
by Montefiore, doing more in state-of-the-art healthcare. You just saw a picture of Aroldis Chapman in the dugout. One guy you won't see is Greg Bird. He did not make the road trip, still dealing with some issues of that ankle bruise. The Yankees said they are not going to let him resume any baseball activity until that feels 100%. He is not quite there yet, so he has not been cleared. And guys, they were counting on him in a big way to play first base this season. As a result, you see the guy at the plate right now, Chris Carter, getting some more action. They could really use him to start hitting.
6 for his last 29. The one home run, it was a big one in Pittsburgh. But here's a guy who led the National League in home runs last year with 41. The 0-1 pitch from Hamill, and that's over the outside corner for a strike. Now, before the game, David, I came out on the early bus, and Aaron Hicks was taking ground balls at first base. Now, I know Meredith had a chance to talk to him in the clubhouse. So did I, but let's get Meredith's version first.
Well, Kenny, any outfield position, but in the infield, things are a little different for him, as that one is out of play. He didn't seem to be 100% comfortable. More taking grounders. He takes grounders in different places. I said, whose glove did you use? And he said, well, I used Matt Holliday's, which is actually Greg Bird's. So he doesn't even have a glove, and he was talking about how much heavier and bigger that glove is. He just doesn't like the feel of it on his hand. Now, Joe Girardi didn't completely rule it out. It's not something that they would do right now, but should Chris Carter struggle, he only wants to use Matt Holliday 2 days a week at first at max, so there could be opportunity for other people to potentially get some reps there at first base.
Here's the 0-2 pitch to Carter that's thrown away for a ball. Yeah, I talked to Hicks too, and I got the sense. I asked him when's the last time he ever played first base. He said I've never played it. So I right away you got to figure this is going to take some getting used to. And I kind of thought about my days when they tried me at first base. I didn't like it. It's too close to the action. In the outfield, you get the every once in a while you get daydream a little bit out there. Ground ball towards the hole. It's going into left field for a base hit. A leadoff single for Carter here in the third inning. But I didn't like it. It was too close to the action. I got the feeling it's going to take a lot of work over at first base before Aaron Hicks becomes even a little comfortable being there.
And Joe Girardi was asked about it, and he said this isn't Little League. This isn't like he's just coming up. First base is a lot harder than people think it is. You can't just throw somebody there. There's a lot more to it. So he certainly is not planning on anytime soon using Aaron Hicks there, but it is something maybe to keep an eye on should Chris Carter not get hits.
Here's Brett Gardner back to the top of the order for the Yankees. He flying out to center field his first time. Takes a pitch high and away for a ball. Now here's something to think about. A lot of outfielders, as they get a little long in tooth and longer later in their careers, they move in and play first base. Carl Yastrzemski did it. Mickey Mantle played some first base. That's something to think about. You know, you work over there, you might put an extra couple years on your career. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Gardner, and it is in there for a call strike. 1-1. Hamill in his career against the Yankees 4-4, and earned an average of 4.78. It's really nothing to write home about. CC Sabathia, on the other hand, he's looking for his 20th win against the Royals. 19-11 in his career against Kansas City. Pitch to Gardner, and that hits the corner. 1-2. Gardner didn't like the call there. He usually has that disapproval look on his face, and it looked like it went around the plate.
Yeah, it was kind of the old backup slider. Never really got there. Perez made it look better than it was.
That's part of the catcher's job, but the umpire shouldn't be fooled. You know how to stick up for the hitters. The 1-2 pitch, and that's high and away. 2-2. Kauffman Stadium a few years ago underwent a renovation, and used to be that there weren't any seats beyond the walls out in the outfield, but now just about everywhere you see there's people standing or sitting beyond the fences here, and they kept the fountains, which is very good. Pitch to Gardner just outside. Maybe that look of disapproval got him that call. Count is now full at 3-2.
See the two-seamer running off the plate, clearly away.
See if the Yankees have Carter on the move. That renovation was back in 2009. It cost $250 million. Carter's not going. The 3-2 pitch is outside, ball 4. So the Yankees put the first 2 men on here in the 3rd inning. This is kind of going the way that things have gone for Hamill. We mentioned he usually is very good at first time through the order. Second time he begins to struggle. That's his first walk of the night. So 2 on, nobody out. Bring up Gary Sanchez, who singled in the left center field his first time up. One of 3 Yankee hits on the night. So the Yankees threatening here in the 3rd inning. First game of a 3-game series between the Yankees and the Royals here at Kauffman Stadium. Slider is in for a strike. The Yankees come in with a record of 22-13. A half a game lead over the Baltimore Orioles in the Eastern Division. The 0-1 pitch hit well to center field. This is going to chase Kane back. Going near the wall, onto the warning track. Looks up. This one is gone. A home run for Gary Sanchez. Straight away center field, and the Yankees lead 3-0. So Hamill gave up 2 singles in the first 2 innings. Now a single, a walk, and a home run here in the 3rd. Sanchez is 2 for 2. That's his 3rd home run of the year.
Well, between Sanchez, Holiday, and Judge, I think the Yankees hit more home runs to center field than just about anybody.
Well, that's the biggest part of the ballpark, and all 3 of them are strong individuals and can reach those faraway places. Here's Holiday, and he'll take a pitch low for ball 1. But the Yankees strike first here in Kansas City.
Fastball right there, belled high down the middle. The wind is blowing out to left here at Kauffman Stadium. That ball is easily gone.
Inside to Holiday, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. 428 feet straight away center field. So Gary Sanchez puts the Yankees on top here at Kauffman Stadium. Here's the next pitch to Holiday, and he takes it inside, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. In that game at Tropicana Field, we talked about Hamill struggling. Logan Morrison and Ricky Weeks took him back to back, and both of them were well hit. Ball is fouled back, and the count is now 3 balls and a strike. They turned him loose. Joe Girardi was thinking back to back. Well, Gary Sanchez was out here early, David, taking the early batting practice. He and Aaron Judge, Chris Carter, Austin Romine, and Ronald Torres were out here. Torres, I should say. They were out here taking early BP. Full count now on Holiday. Still nobody out here in the 3rd. The Yankees have scored 3 runs. The payoff pitch. It is popped up into short left center field. Long run for Merrifield. He is there and makes the catch for out number 1. Good play by the second baseman. So Holiday is retired. Going to bring up the cleanup hitter, Starlin Castro.
Jam shot, and Merrifield gets way out there. You got to cover a lot of ground if you're an infielder here on pop-ups like that.
I had a chance to meet Whit Merrifield before the game. Nice young man. University of South Carolina. I reminded him maybe I shouldn't be talking to you. My son went to Clemson. Here's Castro, who flew out to center his first time. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it off. That'll be a souvenir. Good crowd on hand here in Kansas City Tuesday night. Of course, nowadays the Yankees, when you go out of division, you only go to a city once. It's
standing room beyond the walls in the center field, left center, right center, in front of the fountains. The 0-1 pitch that hits the corner, and it's 0-2 on Castro. Mentioned the 49 hits for Castro. There's a statue of Hall of Famer George Brett. What a hitter he was. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and it's fouled off. You know, of all the players, David, I played against back in the days, one guy I watched and I wished he was on my team, and that was George Brett. Man, he could really hit. He could really play third base.
That unique style, that Charlie Lau batting style on that back leg.
Always hustled. And he wore us out just like everybody else. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Castro hits it high in the air to left field. Gordon over towards the line a bit, in front of the warning track, makes the catch for out number 2. Check out the Volkswagen League leaders as Aaron Judge comes to the plate. And here are the home run leaders in Major League Baseball. Aaron Judge with 14, Eric Thames with Milwaukee with 13, Ryan Zimmerman having a great year for the first place Washington Nationals in the National League East, and Freddie Freeman, one of the best players in baseball. He's got 13 for the Atlanta Braves. So Judge leads them all with 14. Up and in, and it's ball 1. I mentioned Judge was taking early batting practice here. Now, David, you see those stairs out there in left center field? He hit one to the top of the stairs. And if we pull back, you can see how far away that is from home plate. Still, he's got to keep going. This ball is hit hard. Great stop at third by Moustakas. The throw to first is in time. Excellent play by the Royals third baseman. Kind of reminds you of what George Brett used to do over in third. That'll do it for the Yankees here in the third inning. They picked up 3 runs on the Gary Sanchez homer. Judge is retired. Matchup coverage begins at 7 with the Audi batting practice today and the Chevy Yankees pregame, and we're back to call the game here in Kansas City, right here on Yes, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Round and round they go, and at the moment the Yankees have the lead 3-0. CC through the first 2 innings, 22 pitches, 16 of them are strikes. First pitch strikes to 6 of the 7 hitters that he's faced. Here's Alex Gordon, who's really struggled. First pitch is low and away, ball 1. You saw the numbers. Hitting 152, has yet to hit a home run. And he, in his last 10 games, is 1 for his last 31. Little bouncer foul, and it's a ball and a strike. Of all the players in the major leagues that qualify, he has the lowest OPS, 456. That's on base plus slugging. The 1-1 pitch. Little bouncer. Gregorius charges. Throws on the run, and it's 1 up and 1 down. And Gordon's troubles continue. Well, he's retired, and it'll bring up the number 9 hitter, the second baseman, Whit Merrifield, who was a 9th round pick of the Royals back in 2010. We told you, out of the University of South Carolina. And CC deals the pitch. Hey, how about that? On the rebound, Sanchez hauls it in. Quick reflexes. Check this out, David. Like playing stoop ball. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it's outside ball 2. And if you're a third base coach, you watch that though. Wild pitch. Might not be as wild as you think. Here's a 2-0 pitch to Merrifield, and he takes it in there for a call strike. 1 out, nobody on. You're in the 3rd inning. If you missed it, top half of the 3rd, Gary Sanchez with a home run to straightaway center field. It gave the Yankees a 3-0 lead, a 3-run shot. Yankees lead the American League with 57 homers now. A little bouncer, and it's going to be a foul ball. Count will level at 2-2. It was Mike Jersley, the third base coach, who came up with that. Turned it into a souvenir. So Sabathia has a cushion to work with here. And a 2-2 pitch. Fouled off the mask or glove of Sanchez. Says he's okay. Count remains 2-2. CC looking for his 20th career win against the Kansas City Royals. Two pitch is low, and he's won 12 games in this ballpark, which is the most of any road ballpark that he has victories in. 12 of them. And most career wins by visiting pitchers. He's trying to get into select company. They're with Verlander, Burley, and Blyleven. Pitch is hit towards the middle and into center field for a base hit. So Merrifield hangs in there and picks up a base hit. Second of the night for the Royals, and he's on with 1 out. Now it's back to the top of the order, and Alcides Escobar. Who is playing in his 209th consecutive start. Now Escobar has recently been batting in other spots in the order, but he went back to leading off last Monday against the Rays. Now the thing about it, I mean, his on-base percentage is minuscule. 221.
Ned Yost has been criticized for his lineup construction this year, and Escobar 2014 and 15 was a big-time leadoff hitter, but never an on-base guy.
Swing and a miss, and it's a ball and a strike. Let's see, he's walked 4 times and 135 at bats. So he is up there cutting and slashing. He remains a solid defender, though, with just 2 errors on the year. CC with a quick pitch, and it's fouled off. 1-2.
Kind of see where the Royals have struggled at the top of the order. You're right, Sabathia did do a little bit of a quick pitch there on a cut fastball in. Ned Yost with a quizzical look on his face.
I think the thing about a quick pitch with a man on it, it's you got to avoid balking. Little bouncer foul, because if you go too quickly and don't stop long enough, one of the umpires, well, CC's a veteran, they might not call it on him. Much in the same way that if Andy Pettit did it, they wouldn't call it on him. Here's the pitch we're talking about. Quick delivery. Maybe not a quick pitch, but a quick delivery.
Yeah, more of a slide step.
Bouncing ball towards second. They get one at second. The return to first is not in time. Escobar too quick. But the Yankees erase the leading runner. And now there's 2 outs and a man on first as Escobar reaches on the fielder's choice. Ball not hit hard enough to turn 2.
No, make sure you get 1, and they do. As Escobar easily beats the return throw.
And we see that on Yes Mo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. So 2 outs, and here's Mike Moustakas, who flied out to Aaron Judge in right field. Broken bat roller, slowly hit the Cardinals. It's going to be an easy play, and that's going to do it for the Royals here in the 3rd. They pick up a hit. Nothing else against CC Sabathia. 3-0 Yankees. Brought to you in part by Jaguar, the art of performance. By the Yankees Watch, by Original Grain. And by Honda. Great deals are waiting for you now at your local Honda dealer. Well, over the weekend here in Kansas City, sad news. Former Major League umpire Steve Palermo passed away. You know, from time to time we would come to Kansas City and Steve would get a chance to talk to Steve. He passed away through the ravages of cancer. Of course, back in the day, Steve was one of the best umpires. I thought he was the best umpire in the American League. And that all came to a crashing end one night into Dallas in 1991. He was trying to break up a robbery and was shot and paralyzed from the waist down, and his umpiring career was over. As Ellsbury grounds out, 1 out. Good man, fantastic umpire. And if that hadn't happened in Dallas that night, he was on his way to a Hall of Fame career.
Hall of Fame guy, that's for sure. And settled in the Kansas City area, his wife Debbie, and raised millions of dollars for charity for spinal cord injuries.
Yeah, he did some good work on television as well. David, he was the best ball strike umpire going. Here's Henley, who had a base hit his first time up and a stolen base, was stranded at second. You remember a night that on our rowdy scoreboard, Yankees leading 3-0. Steve was calling balls and strikes, and I took a pitch that I didn't think was a strike, and I looked back and I saw, you know, it was him, and I figured, well, he's right. And I just turned around and continued the at bat. 1-1 on Henley. Some of the other umpires, I wouldn't have done that. I might have said something. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Yankees leading 3-0 here in the top of the 4th inning in Kansas City. Trying to get this road trip started off with a bang. At least Gary Sanchez did with a 3-run homer last inning. Ball is popped in the air, down the left field line as Gordon comes over, and he's got it. 2 up and 2 down for the Yankees here in the 4th. Henley now 1 for 2. So Hamill trying to have his first 1-2-3 inning as Gregorius steps in. Didi grounded to second. That was in the 2nd inning. When Didi came back from that shoulder strain, and I was looking for signs that his arm might be bothering, but you know what? Nah, he looks just fine. Ball is fouled off to the left.
Can't hide an arm injury at shortstop.
No, no, no.
It will present itself.
Much in the same way you can't hide it on the mound. 1 strike to count on Gregorius. Veteran Jason Hamill on the mound. And the 34-year-old deals a pitch that is fouled back, and it's 0-2. Now, Hamill this year has really had a problem with right-handed batters. 380 against him. That's up there. He's given up 4 hits tonight, 3 of them by right-handed hitters. His pitch is grounded foul. Sanchez with a homer and single has 2 of them. Headley, the switch hitter, got his hit batting left-handed, and Carter had a single to left field. What could that be from? Usually you're supposed to be really tough on the righties if you're a right-handed pitcher.
It means that he hasn't got a feel for his slider because he's a fastball slider guy. Sanchez hit a fastball out over the plate.
Gregorius, that's going to be a tough souvenir for somebody. That ball's hit hard.
Now, we talked about Hamill being primarily a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball slider. He does mix in a changeup, and most of the time that changeup's to left-handed batters. So more importantly, against right-handed batters, they can really keyhole and just look for 1 or 2 pitches. And if he misses location, you take a lot of the mystery out of the equation.
That's high and away, 1-2. He's veteran's been around Tampa Bay, Colorado, Baltimore, the Cubs, Oakland, the Cubs again, and now Kansas City. Bottom of the rotation type pitcher. One-two pitch, grounded in front of Tony Pena.
Hamill now 35 years old, so I think that's probably why a lot of teams shied away from him in the offseason. Trying to project decline, especially for pitchers with some miles.
Even though he went 15 and 10. 1-2 pitch, and it's grounded foul again. Well, maybe they figured in the fact he's playing for the World Championship team, and they scored him a lot of runs. Kansas City came in tonight having scored the fewest runs in the American League. We said the Yankees have scored the most. The Royals on the opposite end of the spectrum. But we told you they have been picking up the pace of late as the weather's gotten warmer here. The 1-2 pitch. Gregorius hits a little looper in the center field. Kane's going to have to play it on a hop. So Gregorius has a 2-out single, and Hamill will not get a 1-2-3 inning. 5th hit of the night for the New York Yankees. And we'll bring up Chris Carter, who has one of them. Carter singled and scored. He was on when Sanchez hit his 3-run homer. Throw over the first, and Gregorius is back. Gregorius is 1-0 in stolen base attempts. Not going. Pitch to Carter is in there for a strike, 1-1. We mentioned that Hamill had been with the A's, and while he was there, he allowed the game-winning hit to Salvador Perez, his catcher, in the 12th inning of the 2014 wild card game. And the Royals were on their way to the World Series that year. Another toss over the check on Didi at first base.
The Oakland A's have been so close so many times to break it through.
Yeah, these are not the 70s A's.
Close against the Yankees back in the day too a few
Yeah.
times. I remember Mike Stanton coming up big in the bullpen for the Yankees out in Oakland back in 2000.
Pitches inside, 1-1. Of course, we saw the flip play how many times. The captain making that play, and the Yankees were down 2-0 in that series and eventually won it. I mean, you think of all the plays, thinking him diving into the stands against Boston.
That's the one for me. Face first, full speed.
Yeah, that's.
The flip play was in the right spot, right place at the right time.
Ball is hit high in the air to center field. Kane going back. The wind has this one back to the wall, and this one is gone. A home run for Chris Carter, and it's now 5-0 Yankees. That ball got up in the wind and just kept going. For Carter, his second home run of the year, and the Yankees now with a 5-run lead.
Well, Brian Cashman talked about Chris Carter being streaky, and they're waiting for a hot streak. Now that he gets a chance to play with Greg Bird on the DL. This is all strength and wind.
He is 2 for 2 tonight. That ball was hit high in the air, and it was up there, and the wind just got a hold of it. So 5-0 Yankees, back to the top of the order. Brett Gardner would come to the plate. Walked this last time up and scored in front of Sanchez's homer. Outside for a ball. Now, easy power here.
As you said, Ken, another right-handed batter doing damage against Hamill on a slider. And you see it's almost one-handed. It looked like it was towards the end of the bat a bit, but that's a strong man. And as we said, the wind's gushing out.
So 2 of the Yankees who came out here for early batting practice, Sanchez and Carter, have both hit home runs tonight.
Kane almost broke in for a minute, then glided back and just kept going.
The wind out of the south at nearly 20 miles per hour, and you know, in track, anything wind aided doesn't count. In baseball, it counts. 1-2 on Gardner. That was such an easy swing.
Easy swing, almost one-handed, out in front just a bit.
That was an easy 417 feet. Yankees now with 58 homers on the year. Gardner takes high and away, and it counts 2-2. Yeah, those guys can hit them a long way. 2-2 pitch is on the way, and Gardner hits a high fly ball to left field. Alex Gordon will make the catch. Well, Hamill got the first 2 outs and gives up a single and a home run to Chris Carter. At the end of 3.5, the Yankees lead 5-0. profile. And it's Lorenzo Cain, his 8th major league season, been with Milwaukee and Kansas City. American League Championship Series MVP in 2014. Well, look at those numbers. 2015 All-Star and a World Champ in 2015. Sabathia deals his first pitch at the bottom of the 4th, and it's in there for a strike. CC now with a 5-0 lead. 38 pitches through the first 3 innings, 27 of them for strikes. Inside for a ball on our Audi scoreboard. Yankees up 5-0. CC's allowed a couple of hits. Single to Bonifacio in the 2nd and a single to Merrifield in the 3rd. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. The Royals got Cain and Escobar in the Zach Greinke trade. Certainly a good trade for the Royals. Strength up the middle defensively. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So CC picks up his 2nd strikeout as Cain goes down swinging here in the 4th. What'd you say? He's how many strikeouts behind Frank Tanana?
It was 20 coming into this game.
All right. You know, if it wasn't for me, he'd be a lot closer. Tanana struck me out 18 times. The most of any pitcher.
Tanana, obviously a tremendous power pitcher when he first broke in, and then had an arm injury and became a finesse guy.
First pitch to Hosmer is in there for a call strike. I think I said the same thing a few years ago when Messina was gaining on Tanana. 18 times. Oh my goodness. The 0-1 pitch. Little bouncer to the right side, and it's going to be Cain. Carter, who has it, steps on the bag in time for the out. CC does not get over to cover first base like he used to. It's all on the first baseman, and Carter just beat Hosmer to the bag for the 2nd out.
Yeah, Carter's got to know this. Anybody that's playing first base has to know it's all on you. And Hosmer with a lot of hustle, but clearly out.
2 up and 2 down.
I hate this play. Too valuable to be sliding. How many times do you see a runner jam his thumb on the bag?
Perez swings at the first pitch, breaks his bat, a little soft pop up to second base. CC has a quick 1, 2, 3 innings, 7 pitches, and the Royals are gone. Losses for the Orioles on that 4-game skid were right here in Kansas City over the weekend. The Royals swept them. All 3 wins by 1 run. As we go to the top of the fifth inning, Yankees are up 5-0 on our GMC scoreboard. It'll be Gary Sanchez who drove in 3 of those runs with his 3rd home run of the year. That was in the 3rd inning. Veteran Jason Hamill still in there. And Sanchez check swing, fouls it off, and it's strike 1. The last time Hamill faced the Yankees was in 2014 at Wrigley Field. He was pitching for the Cubs. It was back in May of that year. And he actually won the game. He won 6-1. Little chopper towards the middle. Merrifield surrounds it, throws it just in time to get Sanchez at first base. 1 down. So Sanchez is retired now, 2 for 3 on the evening. We'll bring up Matt Holliday, looking for his first hit. Holliday has flied to right and popped out to second. Veteran, signed by the Yankees in the offseason. Doing a good job with the bat. 7 homers. Check swing fouled off. Of course, brings a veteran presence to whatever team he's going to play for. In the last few years, of course, with the St. Louis Cardinals. I like the way he went out in St. Louis, Dave. His last time up, hit a home run in front of the home fans.
Well, he found a home here. I mean, it's a perfect time in his career and a great spot. Time to come to the American League, play at Yankee Stadium.
Ball is popped up behind home plate. Perez coming over near the on deck circle and make the catch for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down for the Yankees here in the 5th inning, and they'll bring up Starlin Castro. Try and keep this inning going for the Yankees. Salvador Perez, I mean, you've got all those bats and weights over near the on deck circle, and somehow he was able to navigate it and make the play.
Made it look easy. A very difficult play on a windy night.
Castro's looking for his first hit. His next hit will be his 50th of the season, and he takes a slider in there for a called strike.
Pitch number 80 from Hamill tonight. Threw 46 pitches in his last 2 innings, trying to go 1, 2, 3 here to get through the 5th.
The 0-1 pitch, little chopper foul, and the count goes to 0-2. I mean, we are not yet to the quarter pole in the season. We're coming up. This is the Yankees' 36th game of the year, and Castro already has 49 hits, almost 50. So at this pace, you figured it out. He'll be over 200 hits. He led the National League in hits with 207 back in 2011. A 1-2 pitch, and there's a base hit. There's number 50 on the season for Starlin Castro, and he's on with 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Yeah, of course, in the open, you can see he's being saluted by the Yankee bench. He's found a way to go to right field this year.
He's bought in. You know, we saw Castro last year at times go the other way, as you see the interaction on the bench. When you're playing well and you're feeling good, this is the type of interaction you get.
Oh, it's a lot of fun being on a winning team. Here's Aaron Judge. He's grounded out twice tonight. I'd almost like to see Judge get one up in the wind here, see how far it would go. Here's the pitch, and it's low and away with a slider, ball 1.
Got robbed of a double his last at bat. Moustakas with a tremendous play.
Oh yeah. Judge, the league leader in runs scored. He's also up there. Of course, we told you, leading the league in home runs, and he's up there in runs batted in as well. Having a great season. Pitch is in there for a called strike, 1-1. Pitch count up to 85 for Hamill here in the 5th. There's a changeup. One of the rare changeups we've seen tonight. He drops it in there for a strike, 1-2.
Boy, good pitch to hit. You can see the grip, circle change, and it's up and out over the plate, and Judge just doesn't believe it.
The speed fooled him. If he's on it, those are pitches that they can go. Runners off and running, and the pitch is fouled off out of play. As Castro was attempting a stolen base. His next one would be his first one. Well, the count is 1-2 on Aaron Judge. Bird on a wire. Castro's not going, and the pitch is fouled off again by Judge. Let's see, I wrote down the number of players that were taking early BP. It was Judge, Sanchez, Carter, Romine, and Torres. So 3 of them are starting, and 2 of the 3 starters have gone deep. Wouldn't chase, and the count levels at 2-2.
Well, that is the difference right there between Aaron Judge last year and Aaron Judge this year. And a 1-2 count spitting on this pitch. Last year, that's a strikeout. This year, not so much.
Slightly open stance. You'll see that left foot turn towards home plate as the pitch comes in to close off the stance. Runner goes. The pitch is drilled in the left field for a base hit. Castro turns at second. He's on his way to third, and Aaron Judge has a solid single to left field. So once again, Hamill starts to get in trouble with 2 outs in an inning and nobody on base. Last inning, a ground out, fly out, followed by a single and a home run. This inning, a ground out and a foul out, followed by 2 singles. And it'll bring up Ellsbury. And it looks like the Royals bullpen is going to start heating up. Ellsbury looking for his first hit of the night, and he fouls it off the right foot, and he's going to be hopping around a little bit in home plate. And it never feels good. Strike 1 on the Yankee center fielder.
Got the pad in the right spot. I mean, he's got one for his shin and his foot, doubling up with protective gear. And it's right off of it.
Hamill ahead on the count, no balls and 1 strike. Runners on the corners for the Yankees. Castro at third, Judge at first. That is high, and the count will level at a ball and a strike. A win tonight would get the Yankees back to 10 games over 500. And we've talked about this before, David. When you get to 10 over, your next stop at 15 over. Trying to build. That drops in there for a call strike, and it's 1-2 on Ellsbury.
You know, the expression in the sabermetrics community is regression to the mean. So will some of these hot hitters come back to earth a little bit? Of course they will. As you see Travis Wood, the lefty, getting hot. But you've got Gary Sanchez back now after missing him with an injury, and then you're waiting for first base production as well.
There goes Judge. The pitch is away, and they're going to let him steal second base. No throw from Perez, and Aaron Judge picks up his 3rd stolen base of the year. He's been caught once. There's more to his game than just power.
Been very impressed with Aaron Judge's throwing arm. Strong and accurate.
2-2 pitch. Ellsbury pops it up. Let's see who's going to make the play here. Perez calling for it. The catcher puts it away, and the Yankees are going to lead 2 on here in the 5th inning. But through 4 1/2, the Yankees with a 5-0 lead.
Brought to you by Pitney Bowes, the craftsman of commerce. Location down and away, as we showed you in the pregame. Sabathia kind of struggled those last 3 starts. Well, how about lefty on lefty? Get it in there. Broken bat. Sabathia's been really sharp. How about that cutter? Let's check in on that cut fastball, about 90 miles an hour. Tying up Lorenzo Cain, a really good right-handed hitter. Sabathia on point tonight. His velocity's up a little bit, Kenny, and he's also hitting those spots and working well with Gary Sanchez.
Well, through his first 4 innings, 45 pitches, 33 of them have been strikes. And he's thrown a first pitch strike to 10 of the 14 batters that he's faced. Here's Bonifacio, and well, of course he misses. It's inside for a ball. Make it 10 of 15. GMC scoreboard 5-0. Yankees, a 3-run homer by Sanchez and a 2-run homer by Carter have the lead. Bonifacio swings at the change, doesn't get it. And it's a ball and a strike. Bonifacio, recalled from AAA Omaha back on April the 21st. Hits one in the air to center field. Coming on is Ellsbury. He's there and makes the catch for 1 down here in the 5th. You ever been to Omaha, David?
Yes,
Yeah.
played AAA baseball there.
All right. That's right. He's been with the Royals for a long time.
Long time College World Series.
Are they the Storm Chasers? Is that?
Yeah.
The Omaha Storm
Now
Chasers.
it's the Storm Chasers.
Yeah.
Yes, used to be just the Royals. They renovated that ballpark up there. It's beautiful.
I got to go there for the College World Series years ago. Soler lines one to left field. Gardner is not going to get it. He's going to have to play it on a hop. Soler's going to try for second. Here comes the throw, and he is out at second base. When you're down 5-0, you better make sure you can make it standing up. Brett Gardner showing why he's a Gold Glove left fielder. And the Royals are thinking about challenging this, but Soler's running into the dugout. Nah, they said forget it.
Well, he's easily there.
Well, he's not even in the picture yet. Wow.
And then he came off.
He came off the bag. That's why he's out. So give him a base hit, but he's thrown out 7-4.
It's almost like Castro had too much time.
2 outs, nobody on for Alex Gordon, and he'll take a pitch just off the corner for ball 1.
How many times have we seen Brett Gardner with that perfect one-hop throw? Very accurate arm. Maybe not the strongest arm, but strong enough. But accuracy. Always one hop, always right there.
1-0 pitch, and it's low for a ball to Gordon, too. They don't give Gold Gloves to outfielders who can't throw.
He's the king of this throw. I mean, on the money and the perfect hop. And Castro, almost a little too much time. You can see just maybe a little showmanship with the glove. Got away with it.
A little eye wash there, maybe?
Eye wash meter's always on up here. We're always looking.
3 balls and no strikes on Alex Gordon. Just reading Rob Manfred's signature, commissioner's signature on the ball, and Soler might have been safe if he hadn't come off the bag. 3-0 pitch, it's up and in, and Gordon draws a walk. CC's first walk of the night, go along with 2 strikeouts.
The dreaded 2-out walk. It's a $25 fine with Mel Stoudemire as a pitching coach right now.
Here's Whit Merrifield. Had a base hit his first time up. The young second baseman takes a pitch for a called strike. So Sabathia in somewhat of a bounce back start thus far. We had mentioned in our open how he had struggled in his last 4. Ball has popped up. This should be playable. Who's going to call for it? Looks like the shortstop Gregorius drifting back as the wind takes it, but he makes the play. Royals pick up a hit and lead one on here in the 5th. Third, when the Yankees take on these Kansas City Royals, the first 18,000 guests 21 and older will receive a Yankees Dunkin' Donuts card preloaded with $2. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankee Clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Here we are, top of the 6th inning. Yankees leading 5-0. Chase Headley took the first pitch for a ball. Headley's 1 for 2 with the stolen base tonight. And he fouls one off. The count will level up at a ball and a strike. Hamill quickly approaching the 100 pitch mark. He's now thrown what, 97? He's thrown a couple of maybe 97 pitches. Yankee, I should say, the Royals bullpen is quiet right now. Next pitch is fouled off. This will reach the seats. And it's 1-2 on Headley, who'll be followed by Gregorius and Carter. The bottom third of the Yankee order here in the 6th inning. No shift with Headley at the plate. Hits one hard, and it's a nice stop by Hosmer. Smooth fielding first baseman puts away Headley. There's one down here in the 6th inning. So with 1 out, that'll turn it over to D.D. Gregorius, who's had a hit and scored a run. He was on base when Carter went deep. Didi with the 1 for 2 tonight has jumped over the 300 mark. .303. This ball is hit well to right center field. Kane on the run will not get there. This one's off the wall. Gregorius rounds first, on his way to second, and he's in there with a 1-out double. And he's hitting a stronger 300 now. Tell you what, Didi showed no signs of rust after coming off the disabled list. That is his 4th double of the year.
Well, Gregorius is ready to swing the bat the minute he gets out of bed in the morning. Similar to these Royals hitters. And first pitch changeup right there just speeds up his bat. The only question is whether it has enough to get over the wall or off the wall. There's your answer. Top of the wall.
Almost got out of here. Royals bullpen busy once again. Here's Carter, 2 for 2 with a couple of runs scored, a couple of RBIs. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Now with 101 pitches out there, Hamill. Carter singled and scored in the 3rd inning. He was on base when Sanchez hit a homer. Then he hit one of his own in the 4th inning with a man aboard. And is inside, and it's a ball and a strike.
You know, to me, Kenny, is the thing that has been impressive as you see Seth Maness is now back in the Royals bullpen and probably going to be in this game. Is that it's been somebody different every night for the Yankees. Their production is broad across the board.
Circular lineup. This ball is popped up. Now the wind might keep this in play. Hosmer coming over and runs out of room.
And as some of the production, as I said before, sort of regresses to the mean, as they say. Here's Carter hitting a home run tonight, and first base production has been last in the league for the Yankees up to this point. Nowhere to go but up there. And of course, as we mentioned before, Gary Sanchez off the DL has been great since coming back. So
same with Didi.
All the signs, all the indicators are very positive for the Yankees.
Outside ball 2. Now very rarely, you know, it might happen over maybe 1 or 2 games, but very rarely is everybody hitting at the same time on a team. But if you have enough guys hitting, they can carry the guys who aren't, and then when they cool off and the other guys heat up, it just keeps things moving in the right direction offensively. The 2-2 pitch. Bouncing ball towards the middle. Merrifield from behind second base throws the first in time for the out. On the play, Gregorius will move over to third, and he's there with 2 down. Broken bat for Carter. So a runner in scoring position for Brett Gardner as he steps in. We told you he had 6 hits in the doubleheader on Sunday, 3 in each game. 0 for 2 tonight with a run scored. He's 12 for his last 30. And his average has been on the climb up to 285.
7 doubles to go with those 7 home runs as well. And his OPS is just under 900.
If you have an OPS anywhere in the 800s, I'd say particularly above 820, you're doing your job offensively. And pitch is in there for a strike. Of course, that is on base percentage plus slugging, OPS. You get over 800, you're being a productive hitter. So you see some guys over 1,000, like Judge. They're really doing something. Ball is hit hard towards the middle. Great stop by Escobar. Scrambles, throws, and gets Gardner. That's the defensive play of the night. Alcides Escobar saves a run as the Yankees leave a runner at third. Young man's made 2 errors this year. The series finale here at Kauffman Stadium. Don't miss the coverage beginning Thursday at 7 with the MLB on FS1 pregame show. As the Yankees take on the Royals, it's on Thursday here at Kauffman Stadium. Kevin Burkhardt, Alex Rodriguez out of the studio to do a ball game, and of course Ken Rosenthal will be on hand as well. And I'm going to take advantage of that day off and fly to Florida and watch that game down near Tampa. Here's a pitch to Escobar, made that great play, and that is ball one inside.
Did you say that was going to be Alex's debut in the booth?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Got any advice for him?
Listen to your partner.
It's television, not radio, right?
Pitch is hit hard. Headley robs Escobar for the second time tonight. Escobar, Headley's like a goaltender on slap shots with Escobar at the plate.
You're right. That's twice. The first one was just reaction. This one was range. Great read.
Two steps and a dive for Headley and took away a double. Moustakas takes a pitch outside for a ball. Royals third baseman is 0 for 2. He's fly to right, grounded to first. We've seen some defensive plays tonight. Look out, up and in. Moustakas ducks out of the way. No, the reason why I say listen to your partner, it makes the game flow a little better. I mean, if you mention one thing and your partner says the same thing 2 minutes later, I mean, it's not flowing. The 2-0 pitch on the way. That's in there for a call strike.
Yeah, we're not paid by the word, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like when you're at home. You listen to your wife, right? You hear everything she says.
Excuse me?
What was that? Here's a 2-1 pitch. And it's hit in the air to left field. Long run for Gardner. Still coming on. He gets there and makes the catch for out number 2. Two up and two down.
There's nothing wrong when you're in the booth for a nice, long, comfortable silence. So I'm not going to say anything the rest of the inning, Kenny, okay?
Oh, boy. Here's Lorenzo Cain. Cain is 0 for 2. Hitting an even 300 on the year. He's fly to center and struck out swinging. This guy takes a big swing. Having a good year, though. Swings and fouls it off. He's reached safely in 31 of 35 games this year in a free agent season. Ball is popped off the end of the bat. Castro drifting into short right field, and he will make the catch. So Sabathia has a quick 1-2-3 inning once again. That'll do it for the Royals here in the 6th. packed with all your favorite MLB teams, players, ballparks, and much more. Get RBI Baseball today for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and mobile devices. Learn more at RBIGame.com. Well, the Royals have made a pitching change here in the 7th inning. Seth Maness will come out of the Royals bullpen. And he will face Sanchez, Holiday, and Castro, 2, 3, and 4 in the Yankee lineup. So Hamill, while he was in there, threw 107 pitches, 77 of them for strikes. And it's made his first outing Saturday with the Royals on our Cadillac scoreboard. 5-0 Yankees. He was called up from AAA Omaha. And last year pitched with the St. Louis Cardinals, so he's got a Missouri thing working. He picked up the win in Saturday's game against Baltimore as the Royals won that one by a run. 0-1 pitch is a little outside. Sanchez tonight is single, hit a 3-run homer in the 3rd and grounded out to 2nd in the 5th. That drops in there for a strike. 1 and 2.
Get a final line on Jason Hamill, the Royals starting pitcher. 6 innings pitched, 9 hits, 5 runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts. Not missing a lot of bats.
Little bouncer foul. Man has signed a minor league contract with the Royals over the winter. And missed quite a bit of time last year with an elbow injury in St. Louis. The 1-2 pitch has popped up into short left center field. Kane coming over, and he's able to put this one away. So there's one down here in the 7th. Right now, let's go back to our studios, and Bob Lorenz is there. Bob. Wow, they've been having problems. Their bullpen lately hasn't been able to do the job as the Tigers have come back on Baltimore. Thanks, Bob. Of course, Bob and Jack will be on the post-game show along with Meredith. They give you a lot of coverage about what's going on throughout baseball. J.D. Martinez recently off the disabled list, making a mark tonight for the Tigers. Ball is pulled foul by Holiday, who's 0 for 3, looking for his first hit. 1 out, nobody on for the Yankees here in the 7th inning. The Orioles on Sunday had a 5-0 lead here against the Royals and lost that game 9-8. That pitch is low for a ball. They really miss Zach Britton. That pitch is in there for a strike, and it's 2-2 on Holiday. Didn't like the call over the outside corner. Britton had a year last year that might have been the best season a closer has ever had. Ball is hit hard on the ground. Escobar down to one knee, straightens up, throws, and gets him. But he's not hitting much, but he's playing an awful lot of defense for these Royals. Alcides Escobar.
This ball scorched. Escobar well positioned, and the classic shortstop throw deep for in the hole, no problem. Plenty of arm strength.
And he came into the night hitting 193 with an on-base percentage of .221. He's hit the ball hard tonight. So you know how he feels. When you hit 193, you hit the ball well, you don't get anything as Castro takes a strike. You wonder if it's ever going to turn around. Castro had a base hit his first time up. And should say his last time up. Leads the Yankees with 16 multi-hit games, but he's in the hole here. No balls and 2 strikes. Ground ball towards the middle. It's going to go into center field for a base hit on an 0-2 pitch. Castro now with 17 multi-hit games. And there's a salute from the bench. His personal cheering section. Started out 0 for 2 and is now 2 for 4. That's a nice comeback.
Got a magic wand working right now.
Yeah, he's all season long, as you said, David. He's been swinging the bat well, and at this point might be leading the American League in hits. Judge takes a pitch just inside for ball 1. Aaron had a base hit his last time. Also stole a base. Yankee right fielder is 1 for 3. Hit hard into center field. He's 2 for 4. That might have been a broken bat single. And once again, with 2 outs, the Yankees are threatening.
He's had good at bats all night.
Yeah.
That's probably the softest ball he's hit, and he got credit for a base hit here. But on the season, Aaron Judge has 12 balls that he's hit of at least 114 miles an hour. Scorched. That's the most in the major leagues. Stanton ranks second and Mike Trout third on that list. So nobody's hit the ball harder than that guy this year so far.
You know, that ball got through the infield pretty quickly for a broken bat hit. Ellsbury looking for his first hit of the night. You saw a look at the bat there. You can always get another bat. You might not get another hit. Ellsbury 0 for 3. Hit hard, foul down the right field line. Crack of the bat, the runners were off and running. And Judge might have scored. That ball had stayed fair. Two on, 2 out. And that misses inside, and it's 2 balls and a strike on Jacoby Ellsbury.
You give a little credit where credit is due and qualify that last remark about Aaron Judge, but Stanton and Trout rank second and third on that list with only 9 combined between them.
Ball is hit hard, and it's into right field for a base hit. Castro's rounding third. He comes in to score, and it's now 6-0 Yankees. As Jacoby Ellsbury gets the base hit, it gets the Yankees another run. 3 successive singles with 2 outs adds onto the scoreboard for the Yankees.
A lot of loud sounds off the Yankee bats, and another one coming from Ellsbury this time. The crack of the bat tells a story.
Hosmer almost had that one. Royals bullpen is busy once again. Ellsbury might be smiling for a different reason, because he got base hit, drove in a 2-out run. That's big. But his Oregon State Beavers, #1 in the country collegiately. Travis Wood is up again in the Royals bullpen. Here's Headley, who's 1 for 3, and he'll take a pitch over the outside corner for a called strike. I think they're 41-5. And they've been #1 for well over a month now. Ball hit on the ground to the right side. Merrifield has it. Throws the Hosmer. That's going to retire the Yankees here in the 7th. But they pick up yet another run. The under 6.5. 6-0 Yankees. As we head to the bottom of the 7th inning, fans settling back into their seats following the 7th inning stretch. Time for the game summary, brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. You see it. Yankees 6 runs on 12 hits. The Royals just 3 hits against CC Sabathia. Sanchez with a 3-run homer. Chris Carter with a 2-run homer. Jacoby Ellsbury with a run-scoring single. Here's Eric Hosmer, 0 for 2. Sabathia deals, and the first pitch just out of the zone, ball 1. Hosmer's grounded out twice. Yep, it's been a super effort for Sabathia so far tonight. That pitch is in there for a strike to Hosmer. Hosmer, Perez, and Bonifacio.
You know, Ken, you and I have talked about this, that the residual effect after you win a World Series is when you see the attendance spikes. The Royals are still seeing that residual effect here in their attendance.
Ground ball. Gregorius breaks off his glove, and the ball will go into right center field. Hosmer digging for 2. Here's the throw, and he is safe at second. Just got in there ahead of the tag, and I think Didi signaled that he is safe. Judge made a good throw.
Judge's recovery was great. The throw's on the money. And he got fooled once again. The trick slide. Everybody's got a trick slide nowadays.
The ball did beat him. But Joe West was right on the call. Give Hosmer credit. They're down 6-0. He's got to make it. And he did.
I think Gregorius had to scramble and was backpedaling to get to the bag and just didn't have his balance under him. Hosmer was able to, instead of sleight of hand, sleight of foot.
Here's Perez, who's lined out and popped out. Runner on second, nobody out. Pitch is fouled off, and it's 0-2 on the All-Star catcher. Sabathia working into the 7th inning.
You know, Ken, just to finish that point about the residual effect, when a team wins a World Series, you see the bump in attendance the following year and the year after. That puts the Royals in a much more difficult situation in terms of the trade deadline coming up this year. These fans have identified with these players. Hosmer, Moustakas, Kane. They fell in love with this team. Now what? The fans are here. They know all these players on a first-name basis. There's an emotional relationship with them. Puts the Royals front office in a really tough spot.
Swing and a miss, and Perez is a strikeout victim. Let's go back to Bob Lorenz in our studios. Yeah, he is, Bob, knocking on the door of the big leagues. You have a feeling it won't be too long. CC Sabathia with a 6-0 lead here in Kansas City. First time in the ballgame the Royals have had a man on second base. Bonifacio takes a pitch down low for a ball.
He's not the only one tearing it up in the minor leagues. You know, that's Double-A in Trenton. Torres, maybe the top prospect in all of baseball, certainly top 5. But Tyler Wade, who was so impressive in spring training, is tearing it up in Triple-A this year.
Dustin Fowler's having a pretty good year as well.
Dustin Fowler as well. Both of them are having tremendous starts to their seasons.
That pitch is a call strike to Bonifacio.
And on the pitching side, Chance Adams, who's probably the #1 pitching prospect going right now that's healthy, has moved up to Double-A, or moved up to Triple-A rather, and had a great first start in Triple-A, and he's picking up where he left off last year.
Yeah, I think he moved up a notch when James Caprillion now on the disabled list and Tommy John surgery, rehabbing from that. Bonifacio 1 for 2. Royals with just 4 hits in the game. That's foul down the third base side. Nice play by the ball boy. Meanwhile, Bonifacio falls behind on the count, a ball and 2 strikes. I think CC's got him set up for a changeup here. Nice little fade down and away after pulling a ball foul. As pitches, he had to work hardest in the 3rd inning when he threw 16 pitches.
His stuff has been very good tonight. Hard cutter, 88, 89, and 90 miles an hour, getting it in.
Did he go? Yes, he did. As Bonifacio has struck out. Yeah. Sanchez is going to tag him out to finish the play. Now tonight after the post game, it's another chance to see the pilot episode of Yes's new show, Homegrown, The Path of Pinstripes. Plus next Monday at 11, don't miss an all-new episode as Gary Sanchez rehab assignment brought some big league excitement to Scranton. Catch the original docu-series only on Yes. And we'll get the chance for the fans to see some of the players we're talking about. Dustin Fowler. And you mentioned Tyler Wade having a good year last year. Of course, Scranton Wilkes-Barre won the championship in the International League. Here's Jorge Soler, and he swings at the first pitch and fouls it back out of play. Soler has struck out and singled. On the base hit, he tried to stretch it to a double and was thrown out by Brett Gardner. That came in the 5th inning. Soler tonight serving as a designated hitter. Now over the weekend, he played some right field. Twice he dove for balls that he should have that ended up being triples. So tonight he gets the DH role. The 0-1 pitch, and Sabathia moves him off the plate. It's a ball and a strike.
Well, he has tremendous talent.
Yeah.
Does Soler. And I think the problem is for Dayton Moore, the GM of the Royals, when you traded your closer, Wade Davis, who's one of the best in the game, and for straight up for this guy, and you compare it to what Cashman got for Chapman.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a head scratcher.
Pitches inside for a ball.
Chapman was a rental last year for the Cubs. And we got Gleyber Torres and among others. I think 4 prospects for a rental. They got this guy, and that's it. Straight up for Wade Davis, who has been exceptional for the Cubs this year as their closer.
That was exceptional for the Royals as well. Here's the pitch outside, ball 3.
And had a controllable contract, is not a rental. So a bit of a head scratcher in the baseball community, and nothing against Soler, who's a tremendous talent.
Yeah, a lot of good prospect.
But still some development to do, as you said, in the outfield and just making contact.
Larry Rothschild, Yankee pitching coach. Somebody should be starting to throw in the Yankee bullpen shortly. The Royals had Greg Holland for a number of years. Of course, he was injured with Tommy John, but he's closing now for the Colorado Rockies, who are playing very well.
Comeback player of the year right there is Greg Holland so far.
Could be. The 3-1 pitch. Strike 2 is CC. One thing tonight, he's kind of stayed out of the middle of the plate quite often. You know, we showed in our open, he was missing his spots. He hasn't missed them much tonight. Here's Tyler Clippard up in the Yankee bullpen out in right field. So 3-2 the count on Soler with a man on second and 2 down. The pitch. That must have just missed as Soler draws a base on balls.
3-2 slider. First the changeup to get to this count, and that's down. And to Soler's credit, he took it. Normally a free swinger. I think he was just fooled by it. He was struck out by this same pitch in his last at bat. But you can see the slider just down below the zone. And the way Sanchez caught it as well.
Oh, we have a second here. We'll remind you this copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. So 2 outs and 2 on. I think that was baseball's version of the standing 8 count in boxing. Just give CC a little breather here. He's worked 6 2/3 innings, 4 strikeouts, a couple of walks, allowed just 4 hits.
Well, normally in a 6-0 game, you wouldn't see him pitch around Soler, but with the struggles of Gordon, lefty on lefty is what Sabathia wants.
Gordon is 0 for 1 tonight with a walk. He is 1 for his last 32. Those are struggles that David Cohn's speaking of. Another former #1 draft pick of the Royals out of the University of Nebraska. The 0-1 pitch. Foul back to the screen, and it's 0-2. So Gordon, who we've seen in the past leading off, we've seen him in the middle of the order, now batting 8th. Trying to work out of his struggles here, but right now with 2 on 2 outs, he's deep in the hole with no balls and 2 strikes. Sabathia's pitch count at 82.
Had a good pitch to hit there and missed it.
Yep.
That's what happens when you're struggling.
Good block by Sanchez. Ball low and away. Couldn't get Gordon to bite. Going to go out and talk to CC, see what they want to do with this next pitch. You can notice who's doing all the talking. It was CC.
Well, he really jammed Gordon last time with his fastball inside. So if you're feeling good about a 2-seam fastball and getting it in, now's a good time to do it.
First time tonight the Royals have had a couple of men on base. 2-2.
Sabathia feeling strong. Another 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Sabathia normally around 89-90. Tonight a little extra hemph on his fastball.
You know what, I think over the last couple of years, you're right, he always sits around maybe 90, 91, 89, but when the weather gets a little warmer, it seems like that he gets a spike in the velocity. The 2-2 pitch, little bouncer. Headley has it. The long throw to first, not in time. Gordon beats it out for a single, and the Royals have loaded the bases with 2 outs. And the Yankees going to see if they're going to challenge this play. I don't think so.
Well, Headley falling away, cannot get anything on the throw, tries to one-hop it. Close enough for Rob Thompson to make a call.
So Joe Girardi's coming to the bat, and they're going to Tyler Clippard. CC Sabathia out of the ball game with a 6-0 lead. Tyler Clippard will come in out of the bullpen. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Sabathia, 85 pitches, 56 strikes. Had to work the hardest here in the 7th inning through 22 pitches. And Joe Girardi will go to the bullpen trying to get the 3rd out. And Clippard will face second baseman, and the number 9 hitter with Merrifield. Merrifield's had a single, and he's also popped out. He's 1 for 2. Those are his numbers on the year. 3 home runs, 6 runs batted in. Yankees up 6-0. This is the most menacing Royal threat of the night with the bases loaded. Clipper deals, and it's a strike.
Merrifield had some good swings off of Sabathia and clearly handles left-handed pitching a lot better. Over a 300 career average for Merrifield in his young career. So this is the right move to go to a right-handed pitcher. Sabathia was good tonight. He did his job. Very solid coming off of struggles in his last 3 outings.
The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. By the way, going 7 innings tonight, or I should say going 6 2/3 tonight. Sabathia has passed Mike Messina on the all-time innings pitched list for a Yankee pitcher, so he's 14th on the all-time list now.
Before Sabathia is done, which could be a while, he's going to be the 3rd highest strikeout leader among left-handed pitching in Major League history.
Fouled off by Merrifield. I'm going to say Steve Carlton's 1.
Yes.
Whew.
Big, good-looking guy from the Northwest.
Oh, Randy Johnson, of course, yeah.
That's a pretty impressive list.
Yeah.
Randy Johnson, Steve Carlton, and that guy. He's under 20 behind Frank Tanana, who's the 3rd most strikeouts for a left-hander all time.
Here's the 0-2 pitch, and it's up and in. Clipper moves Merrifield off the plate.
Mickey Lolich is in that list too. Yeah, he will. Sabathia's 20 behind Tanana to go to 4th, and around I think 100 or so behind Lolich.
Lolich is 3rd then.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
okay.
Sabathia's got a real legitimate shot to pass both Tanana and Lolich.
2 balls and 2 strikes now as the count evens up against Merrifield. By the way, we mentioned it's a good crowd here on Tuesday night at Kauffman Stadium. 30,878 to see the opening game of this series. Checked his swing. No, he did. Merrifield goes around too far. Clipper does the job. Cleans it up for CC Sabathia. Ram. Experience the power, toughness, and dependability of Ram trucks now during the Ram Memorial Day sales event. By People's United Wealth Management. Expert advice to set tomorrow in motion. And by your Tri-Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2017 models. You wonder how these scoreboards work? Well, there's a lot of things to keep track of there. And I'm sure you have to go to school for that and get a degree. Here's Travis Wood, new pitcher for the Royals. And Didi Gregorius takes a pitch low for a ball. Didi's had a good night. He is 2 for 3 with a run scored. Numbers on Wood, making his 13th appearance. And the left-hander deals outside ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
It's hard to go 2-0 on Didi. He's always ready to swing the bat. 3 walks on the year so far.
This is our Hyundai scoreboard that show the Yankees are up 6-0. It's like some of those guys in basketball. You know, you pass the ball to them, you know you're not getting it back. The 2-1 pitch, and Gregorius takes it low. They're ready to shoot.
Yes. Run and gun.
Yeah. You run it, I'll gun it. Yeah, here's the 3-1 pitch to Didi Gregorius, and he swings and misses, and the count is full 3-2.
Last year in 153 games, 562 at bats, Didi walked 19 times.
Payoff pitch, and he fouls it off. We'll do it over again. Travis Wood, another Jeter jersey. See those all over the country. It's a little different type Yankee hat. Haven't seen those very often. Once again, the 3-2 pitch. Gregorius rips it foul in front of Tony Pena. He's down there nodding his head. Yep. Tony, former Royal manager. So Wood once again with a 3-2 pitch, and Gregorius is going to step out, regroup here. He'll be followed by Carter, who's on deck, then top of the order, and Gardner here in the 8th inning. Yankees are up 6-0. Here is the 3-2 pitch, and there it is, David. He walks. So a leadoff walk. Gregorius on base for the 3rd time. Fans, tomorrow night, New York City FC is back on Yes as the boys in blue hit the road for a clash with Reals Salt Lake. Watch NYCFC presented by Etihad Airways tomorrow at 9, streaming live on Fox Sports Go, or catch it following Yankee coverage on Yes. So Travis Wood walks to Gregorius, and here's Carter, and he pops one high in the air. Hosmer, does he have a play? No, he doesn't. And it's strike 1 on Carter. We're at the bottom of the order. The 8-9 hitters have had a good night. Gregorius has been on base 3 times. Carter's had a single, a home run, driven in 2, scored 2. Checked his swing. No, he didn't. Went around too far. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. Been all Yankees tonight. They're up 6-0. In the dirt. Good stop by Perez. That was textbook. We talked about they don't give gold gloves to outfielders who can't throw. They don't give them to catchers who can't block balls in the dirt either.
Yeah, that ball was in front of the plate.
Yeah.
58 feet.
1-2 the count on Carter. Drills one foul down the left field line. Well, that was hooking in a hurry. Yankees have pounded out 12 hits in the game tonight. Sabathia gave up only 5 in 6 2/3 innings. Nux pitch. Carter fouls another one off. Keeps the at bat rolling. Outfield is deep with Chris Carter at the plate. If I remember correctly, Lorenzo Cain plays a pretty deep center field anyway. Two and two.
We've seen a lot of deep outfields against this Yankee lineup, really. Chris Carter, Aaron Judge, Gary Sanchez, and Holiday. You see outfielders playing about that deep, almost back to the wall.
Plus the wind's blowing that way tonight, blowing out. Pitch is fouled off. Tomorrow these two teams will do it again, middle game of the series. It'll be Michael Pineda, Big Mike, getting the start for the Yankees. It's Jason Vargas who's having a tremendous year for these Kansas City Royals. He's been their best pitcher, one of the best pitchers in the league. 2-2 pitch, and here's a line drive right field. Third hit of the night for Chris Carter. Gregorius will stop at second. The Yankees have put the first 2 men on here in the 8th inning. And now back to the top of the order. And Brett Gardner, who was 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. So the Yankees threatening again here in the 8th inning. Wood has thrown 16 pitches, 8 to Gregorius and then 8 more to Chris Carter as this pitch is fouled off.
The Yankees have 13 hits and 6 runs and a number of other hard hit balls where the Royals have made excellent defensive plays on. Escobar at short, Moustakas at third. So Yankees really swinging the bat well.
The 0-1 pitch, and Gardner hits it in the air, hits it hard to right field, and it is not caught. Carter's headed back to first. He'll be forced at second. The signal from the first base umpire, Stu Sherwater, said that the ball was not caught. So Carter is out at second base. He's forced. You know what? It looks like Carter was right. The ball was caught. And we're going to have a discussion here. There's only going to be one guy at first base. Is it going to be Carter or is it going to be Gardner?
Well, you know, it's going to be a decision to try to overturn this. As it stands, Carter is out. So by our view, that is a catch. I agree with you, Ken. That is a catch.
Yeah, you don't see it come out of the glove. He caught it.
So if you're the Royals bench, you could challenge and try to get Gregorius to go back to second and Carter to first. And that's a much preferable, obviously, than first and third and 1 out. You'd want first and second.
Second and 1 out.
And 1 out with Carter on the bases instead of Gardner.
Yep, and take Gardner off. They're going to look. And I think that's exactly what they'll come up with. So Joe West, the crew chief, and the first base umpire Stu Sherwater, who made the call of out. Well, made the call of safe.
Yeah, it's called a non-catch on the field. And Chris Carter was called out on the bases. And tough for the runners. You just don't know. Make a call. Make a call. The call was made late. The call was a non-catch. If this is overturned, Gregorius will have to go back to second. And Carter will go to first. And Gardner will be out.
So that's the crew chief, Joe West. See, the fans here can see that he caught the ball. They're replaying it on the video board here at Kauffman Stadium.
Clearly a catch.
Yeah, it was.
That's why you always play it out. You make this catch, you come up, you throw to second, throw it back to first, go for the triple play. But obviously the ruling on the field matters first and needs to be overturned.
Either way, it was a good play by Bonifacio in right field just to make the catch. But his throw, did he throw it to second? Did somebody step on the bag or not?
They did step on the bag.
Yeah. So in that regard, Gregorius is out, if that's the first play that they made.
Well, that is the big discussion going on right now, is not whether he made the catch or not. In my opinion, it's what to do with the base runners. But Gregorius read the umpires, the call on the field. Gregorius was holding his hands up, waiting for a call halfway. And the call on the field was non-catch, no catch.
Well, Joe West in New York trying to sort all of this out. Yeah, I know he threw the ball towards second base. I just wonder if he had did Escobar or here it is. We're going to take a look at the whole play. Here's the catch. Comes up, throws the second. Yeah, there's one. That should be the second out. And Carter gets back to first safely.
Yeah, that's the problem there, is that Gregor, you know, Didi, you could see him raise his arms waiting for a call. So he has to run the bases according to the call on the field.
And the call on the field was saved, so he went to third. Now, just what you thought, David. Gregorius is going back to second. Carter goes back to first, and Gardner is out.
That's the only way to call that.
The only reasonable way to do it. Now here comes Ned Yost trying to get an explanation from Joe West. He wants to see if he can get as many outs out of this as possible.
He's looking for a double play.
Exactly, but they're only going to get one. Just when you think you've seen everything in a baseball game.
The unintended consequences of instant replay sometimes.
You see all the youngsters here at the game tonight? You know, moms and dads are trying to explain to them just what happened on the field here. This is in real time. Bonifacio makes the catch. He throws a second. The ball was called a no catch. Carter gets back safely. Here's Gary Sanchez. He's up with one out and runners at first and second.
If it was called a catch on the field, that would have been pretty close to a triple play.
Yeah. Sanchez 2 for 4, had a single and a home run. Since then he's grounded out and flied out. And here is Didi reacting to what the umpires on the field call.
Make a call. Make the call. What's up? What?
Should I stay or should I go? The 2-0 pitch. And that is ball 3. So Wood one pitch away from loading the bases for Matt Holliday. .3-0 pitch, and he swings and fouls it off. Girardi turning Sanchez loose. 3-0. can see his point, going for 3 more quick ones.
Sanchez did not get cheated.
Well, he's going to take the base on balls, and that's going to load the bases with 1 out for Matt Holliday. Gregorius will move to third. Carter will move to second. And Sanchez will take over at first. Second walk of the inning for Travis Wood. Holliday looking for his first hit. Hit the ball well his last time up there. The runners for the Yankees. Holliday takes a pitch inside for ball 1. No place to put him. Only 1 out. Holliday looking for an RBI. He's got 24 on the year. There's a call strike, and it's 1-1. Career with the bases loaded. That's some hitting. That's production. 393 with 6 grand slams. 2 balls and a strike. Al Albuquerque's in town. He's warming up. Ball's hit hard. Great stop by Moustakas. Goes to second for 1 on the first. Not in time. Gregoria scores, and it's now 7-0. Moustakas has made some good stops at third base. We've seen some good plays by both third basemen tonight. This is a rocket.
Another double save by Moustakas. Really, the Royals' left side of the infield has saved a half a dozen hits tonight. The Yankees already have 13. Holliday beats the throw, so he'll get credit for an RBI.
That's his 25th run batted in on the season. Yep, he beat it. And it gives Castro a chance here. Castro is 2 for 4 with a run scored. So 2 outs now, runners on the corners. Swing to miss on a changeup, strike 1. You know, when you're up there with the bases loaded, I always thought the pitcher's the one in trouble. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. A single will do the job. A grand slam is a bonus. Ball is fouled off by Castro, and it's 0-2. Yankees have added the extra point here in the 8th. They lead 7-0. Little chopper towards short. Escobar charges, flips to Merrifield, and that'll do it. But the Yankees pick up another run here in the 8th inning. It's on to the bottom of the 8th, and all Yankees tonight.
episode of WB Mason Presents the Joe Girardi Show. This Sunday at 5 o'clock, Joe and I will be taking some trips here in Kansas City. We'll check out Jack Stack's Barbecue. Joe Girardi, guys, typically a pretty clean eater, so we'll see how this goes. Also, we'll talk Yankees baseball in Tampa. All that coming up Sunday at 5.
That sounds like a fun show. I mean, you're going for barbecue, huh?
It looks like we're going to be taking a tour of Jack Stack, see how they make the barbecue. In the past, we've gone into the Green Monster at Fenway. He took us to Northwestern, his alma mater, toured the campus there. A lot of fun stuff going on this year on the Joe Girardi Show.
Are you going to bring any of that barbecue to Florida with you?
No, I don't think it travels well, Kenny. But if you want me to bring some to the stadium tomorrow, I can do that.
Well, you know what, Coney? That might not be a bad idea. On a Hyundai scoreboard, 7-0 Yankees. Top of the order, Alcides Escobar fouls one back to the screen.
Jack Stack is good. I could vouch for Jack Stack.
Well, you would know. I mean, you're a local.
Arthur Bryant's famous.
1 ball, 1 strike on Escobar. He'll be followed by Moustakas and Kane. Tyler Clippett in there in relief of CC Sabathia, who went 6 2/3, didn't give up a run. Only 5 hits. I mean, there's barbecue joints all over this area. Two balls and a strike on Escobar. I mean, you can't go more than a couple blocks without passing some.
They're all good. Variations of different sauces, obviously.
2-1 pitch, and it's in on the ground to second for Castro. Down on one knee, now he's up, throws the first, and there's 1 out here in the 8th inning. Yeah, there's certain cities are known for their certain types of foods, and here it's a barbecue. I think Memphis too, St. Louis, certainly Texas.
The key to a good barbecue joint is the oven stays hot 24/7 all year round.
You mean somebody's got to be in the shop? There's a base hit. This Judge is going to cut it off, and Moustakas will stop at first. It's the first hit allowed by Clippard. Oh, here we go. This is what you're talking about, huh, David?
Yeah, well, you're slapping on the sauce with a paintbrush. That tells you something. Don't get cheated.
My goodness. 2 pickles thrown in there. A few fries. He can go to town on that for a week. Here's Lorenzo Cain. Paul gets away from Sanchez, and Moustakas will move down to second. I believe that's going to be a wild pitch. That was Arthur Bryant's. You wrap it and you're ready to go.
Yes.
Throw a little tape on there. No, double wrap it. Yeah, you got double with all that sauce. No kid.
Arthur Bryant's famous place. It's down by where the old ballpark used to be, Municipal Stadium.
1-0 pitch is hit high in the air. Judge is coming over near the foul line, crosses into foul territory, makes the catch. Moustakas will hold at second. After all, the Royals are down by 7 runs. There's 2 outs now. The number 4 hitter, Eric Hosmer, will come up. He doubled his last time, and he's 1 for 3. This is a key at bat for him. He's hitting .299. Two outs, a runner at second. Tyler Clippard trying to preserve the shutout. Yankees are up 7-0. Hosmer takes a changeup in there for a call strike. 79 miles an hour. Had a little fade on it as well. Remember, tomorrow night we're right back here at Kauffman Stadium. Pineda and Vargas. Good matchup. Check swing. Did he go? No. It says third base umpire Jim Reynolds. The fast pitch speed analytics is brought to you by Fios. 91 miles an hour on that fastball. Everybody's ready. And now the 1-1 pitch on the way to Hosmer, and he hits it on the ground, foul. Yankees have played well in recent past here in Kansas City and went 5-2 against the Royals last year. And they have played well against Kansas City since 1997. The Yankees are playing almost 700 ball against the Kansas City Royals. The 1-2 pitch. Upstairs, 2-2. So an off day yesterday for the Yankees, and they have come out swinging the bats tonight with a couple of home runs. 13 hits. Clipper checks the runner. 2-2 pitch. Popped up in the air to left field for Brett Gardner. This ought to do it. He's got it. And the Royals strand the runner here in the 8th inning. So we go to the 9th. If you're not hungry after watching this game, talk about a midnight snack. I'm ready. How about you, David?
Play, please.
The WB Mason post game. Bob and Jack are back in the studio with highlights and analysis, plus Meredith gets reaction from here in Kansas City. All that and more coming up only on Yes. New pitcher for the Kansas City Royals here in the top of the 9th inning. Al Albuquerque, former Tiger, takes over. He is the 4th pitcher of the night for the Kansas City Royals. Albuquerque, this will be his 3rd game. A couple of innings, 2 hits, a walk, a couple of strikeouts. He was recalled last Wednesday, or had his contract selected from Omaha. And he did pretty well for the Storm Chasers. The ERA of 2.63, signed with Kansas City as a minor league free agent back in January. 5 seasons with the Tigers, and he had an ERA of 3.20. Had some success in the big leagues. As Aaron Judge will take a pitch for a call strike. Judge has a couple of hits. That's in the dirt. Ball and a strike. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Judge had faraway places on his mind there. Call, strike three. Looked like a front door slider picked off the inside corner. And Judge is a strikeout victim.
You see this slider on the inside. Probably is inside. I think Aaron Judge reads it as inside. Puts the bat down to kind of make a point. It's a 7-0. Strike three call right there.
One of those things moved the game along?
Yes.
All right.
Context.
Ellsbury had a hit and a run batted in his last time up. Takes a pitch for a call strike from Albuquerque. Swing and a miss. Albuquerque jumps ahead on the count 0-2. You ever been there?
I have not.
Beautiful city. I went there when I was in the Texas League years ago. Here's a pitch, a little low and outside, 1-2.
That's right. That's a Texas League stop.
It was then. I think it's moved on to Pacific Coast League. And I remember when I walked in the ballpark, the center field fence was like 430 feet away. But remember, you're way up in the mountains. Swing and a miss. And Albuquerque picks up his second strikeout. So the ball really travels.
Tough to pitch out west, no doubt.
Yeah,
the Pacific Coast League, the
Hitters League,
Texas League, yes.
Salt Lake City, places like that. So 2 up and 2 down, and it'll bring up Chase Headley, who is 1 for 4.
Well, Albuquerque's always been a strikeout pitcher.
Yankees are finding that out tonight. Swing and a miss by Headley, strike one.
279 career strikeouts and 229 innings. Mostly with Detroit. Did have a short stint with the Angels last year.
My question is, how did he get away from the Tigers?
Started in 2011, made it through 2015. Found his way to the Angels last year. I believe he had some injury issues.
Okay.
And has kind of worked his way back.
Look out inside. 1-1 on Headley.
I think his best year in probably 2014 with the Tigers. Always a setup guy. Strikeout type, middle reliever.
2-1 now on Headley. Speaking of setup guys and the Tigers, see where Justin Wilson took over as a closer. Frankie Rodriguez demoted.
Yeah, Rodriguez was really struggling.
3 balls and a strike now on Headley.
Justin Wilson is renewed this year. I think Yankee fans remember him as always having a good fastball, but he got himself in shape. He lost a bunch of weight and really took his conditioning seriously, and it paid off for him.
Kind of a weak swing and a miss by Headley. He wasn't too excited about that swing, and the count is now 3-2.
That Albuquerque slider down.
I think sometimes as a hitter you get ahead on a count 3-1, you're really expecting a strike, and he takes strike 3 here. So Albuquerque not fooling around here in the top of the 9th, faces 3 Yankees and strikes them all out. 7-0 lead. Let's check out the Land Rover drive of the game.
Oh, there's a lot to choose from. So what's it going to be? Yes, of course, Gary Sanchez. Down the middle with the belt, belts it off the wall in center field. A 3-run monster blast that got the Yankees off and running. Never looked back. The Land Rover drive of the game off the bat of that guy right there.
His 3rd home run of the year, a 3-run shot. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Last chance for the Royals. They're down by 7, and the Yankees have a new pitcher in the game. It's going to be Jonathan Holder. 16 games, 1-0. 1.72 ERAs. He's thrown the ball very well. David, he's got very tight slider and also a good curveball too. Really good curveball. Excellent spin on his curveball. He'll face Salvador Perez leading it off for the Royals here in the bottom of the 9th. First pitch. There's your curve, and it's in there for a call strike. Perez working on an 0 for 3 night. Another curve, and it's fouled off. The count quickly moves to no balls and 2 strikes. Sabathia for 6 2/3. Clippard for an inning and a 1/3, and now here's Holder in the 9th. Mentioned earlier, a win tonight. The Yankees are back to 10 games over 500. Foul back to the screen. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Perez, Bonifacio, and Soler, the scheduled hitters for the Royals here in the 9th. Holder out of Mississippi State University. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Holder picks up a strikeout. Perez now 0 for 4. Jorge Bonifacio, who was 1 for 3 with a base hit that came way back in the 2nd inning. The Royals in danger of seeing their 4-game winning streak go by the wayside here tonight. There's a call strike to Bonifacio. Now, if the Yankees can hold on here and shut him out, it'll be the 5th time the Royals have been shut out this year. The Yankees have not been shut out once. Breaking ball in the dirt, back to the screen, and it's a ball and a strike.
It's not a good sign when the trainer's talking to the manager and the manager takes off the hat. I don't know what they're talking about. But
yeah, it's not good. Hit hard and past Headley, and Bonifacio has his 2nd hit of the night. That's one of the few balls that's gotten by Headley in this game tonight. He's made some great plays over at 3rd. So 1 on, 1 out to bring up Jorge Soler. Soler is 1 for 2 with a walk. You know, they could have been talking about the, Stevie Donahue and Joe could have been talking about dinner tomorrow.
Absolutely. Could have been talking about barbecue. Couldn't make a decision on barbecue.
Yeah, like you said, there's a lot of choices around here. That pitch is outside, 2-0.
It'll make you scratch your head.
Yeah, it will. Ground ball, foul. Headley with the good effort. I mean, his uniform's got to be dirty over there. Yep. He's got some prime Kauffman Stadium real estate all over it.
He's still angry about his last at bat.
Yeah, I would be too.
One thing we've learned about Chase Headley is he's got some fire.
When it comes to hitting, nobody wants to be called out on a bad pitch. Soler, did he go around? Yeah, he did. Sherwater with the call. The count evens up at 2-2. Jonathan Holder trying to put the finishing touches on this one. Curveball. Full count, 3-2. And he walks Soler. And the Royals have put 2 on with 1 out here in the 9th. Going to bring up Alex Gordon. Gordon had a base hit his last time, 1 for 2. Toss in a walk. Hitting at 157. That's just not Alex Gordon.
Would love to hear Paul O'Neill's take on Alex Gordon. Just what he's going through, swing path. It looks like, just from the at-bats I've seen this year, that Alex Gordon's gotten a little too pull happy. He's trying to hook everything, trying to reach outside pitches and drive them, but getting out in front and getting around the ball a little too much and leaving himself open on the inside corner.
Holder deals, and he drops a curveball in there for a strike. Now, one thing I read today about Alex Gordon, he's really having trouble hitting the fastball this year. And at the big league level, if you can't hit the fastball, you're just going to struggle.
Pitchers smell blood.
Yeah, this is how you get to the big leagues, with the ability to hit that pitch. Some guys are better breaking ball hitters than others. Just about everybody can hit a hanging curve. But if you have trouble hitting the fastball, you're just not going to have the production. You prove in the minor leagues you deserve to get to the big leagues by hitting that pitch. Ground ball off the end of the bat. Headley has it, has no play, and for the second time Gordon has an infield hit. And the Royals have loaded the bases with 1 out here in the 9th.
Well, pretty good pitch from Holder. You see Sanchez setting up inside. Gordon gets jammed and just hits it in the right spot. No play for Chase Headley.
Well, the bases loaded. A 1 out, and Merrifield to the plate, who is 1 for 3. And he'll take a pitch for a strike. So the Royals are threatening to break the shutout here. With 1 out in the 9th, the base is loaded, and Dellin Betances is up and warming up for the Yankees. With a 7-0 lead, he's one of the last guys you'd think you'd see in this game. The 0-1 pitch, and it's fouled off. Holder quickly jumps ahead. No balls and 2 strikes. What's left of a 30,878 crowd, or of course mostly Royal fans, are hoping they can at least get on the board here. Hit on the ground toward short. This could be 2. Over to Castro for 1 on the first. Not in time. The Royals do score, and it's now 7-1. But there are 2 outs now in the ballgame. Bonifacio crosses home plate. So the Royals will not be shut out for the 5th time this year. And give Merrifield a run batted in.
Merrifield runs well. He hit it off the end of the bat, and Gregorius has got to backpedal just a bit. And that was all Merrifield needed to beat that throw.
So runners on the corners with 2 outs. Royals down to their last out. And here's Alcides Escobar. Alcides Escobar is 0 for 4. Hit the ball hard twice, but robbed of hits by Chase Headley. Curve in for a strike. Curve is fouled off. 0-2. So the Royals down to their last strike. Remember, Bob and Jack are back in the studio. They'll have the post game coming up shortly. Highlights of this game and highlights of games throughout Major League Baseball. And Meredith will get all the interviews from the clubhouse. That's coming up on the postgame show. Runner goes from first, pitches high. That's defensive indifference. The Yankees were not holding Merrifield on. So now second and third with 2 outs. Holder deals. Curve is popped up. Let's see who's going to make the play here. Gregorius is calling for it. Gregorius has it. And that will do it for the Royals here in the 9th inning as the Yankees take the opening game of this 3-game series by a score of 7-1. Good night for Chris Carter. Had 3 hits, including a 2-run homer. Gary Sanchez with a 3-run shot. CC Sabathia, who hadn't pitched well in his last 4 starts, picks up his 20th career win against the Kansas City Royals. He's now 20-11, and he's also got 13 wins in this ballpark, which ties him with 3 other pitchers for the most wins by a visitor here at Kauffman Stadium. Bert Blyleven, Mark Burley, and Justin Verlander all have 13 wins, and now CC Sabathia